We know how important a good night of sleep is to our overall health and well-being, but sometimes it's our brain that is to blame for keeping us awake. So how do we calm our racing thoughts and worries? Dr. Christina Captain is the founder of the Sarasota Center for Acupuncture and Nutrition. She's here to help us with anxiety and insomnia. Great to see you.
Good to see you too.
So how are they interrelated?
Oh my goodness, it all comes down to stress as well, right? That chronic low-grade stress that can cause so many problems, from mental, emotional, to insomnia, to actual aches and pains and digestive discomfort. When you get to the anxiety and insomnia part, we can actually get into disease process like hypertension, heart disease, and diabetes.
And I know it's easier said than done to just be like, well, worry less, be less anxious. You know, I mean, controlling your mind really takes a skill set and then also sometimes some additional help. So what can Eastern medicine do?
Yeah, absolutely. And so we also want to differentiate, you know, everybody has some difficulty sleeping. I mean, we get stress, we have an event occur, we have worry about something that's going to occur in the future, and we have a little bit of discomfort sleeping or just inability to fall asleep, or actually you wake up too early or you can't fall back to sleep. What we really want to look at is this chronic issue of anxiety, stress, and insomnia. And that means that 3 out of 7 nights you're not falling asleep or you're not able to fall back to sleep after waking up, and it's happening over the course of 3 months. Then it becomes chronic.
Okay.
When we get into this chronic situation, that is much harder to deal with, and that's when you need extra help. And that's where acupuncture and Eastern medicine can come into play. So what can we do? Well, first of all, you want to come in so we can understand your particular story. Every single human being is different, right? They got a different story, they have different things happening, they may have nutritional deficiencies, they may have actual need for psychiatry or psychological help or just counseling. You know, just get some help and some support. But what acupuncture does specifically is help control or balance the autonomic nervous system. And the autonomic nervous system is where we have that fight or flight situation happening. And so we need to not be that hyper-vigilant all the time, right? So acupuncture can calm that sucker right down and balance it out. It also reduces the overactivity or hyperactivity of the sympathetic nervous system. Okay, again, the one that keeps us hyper-vigilant. On top of that, acupuncture releases hormones like melatonin, which we know sleep. People take endogenous, you know, supplemental melatonin, right? It also balances serotonin and dopamine, those neurotransmitters in the brain that keep us calm and happy, right, and helps us sleep. On top of that, it releases endorphins and enkephalins. These are also endogenous or made in the body brain chemicals that help us, A, have reduction in pain. Those enkephalins are natural opioids. But the endorphins, that's like when you're running a marathon or you run 5 seconds, it depends on who you are, you hit the wall, you get that endorphin release, and that makes you feel freaking awesome. It makes you feel like you just really are great. And that, not only that, but it gives you, I call it the hope hormone, because it gives you a sense of everything's gonna be okay. You know, I was just coming in, I was listening to Jelly Roll saying, I am not okay, but everything's gonna be all right. It's the same thing, right? You're not okay, but it's all gonna be all right, especially if you get that hit of endorphins.
And it seems crazy, and I've done this and I've tried this, so I will vouch for it, that, you know, just that tiny little tweak within your system can do so many different things.
That's what's so unique about Eastern medicine. You know, no one really understands it. All of us that are in it, we're in this little bubble that says, oh, everybody understands what all this does, but they really just don't, you know. And in fact, you know, there's a lot of research being done, and that's why, you know, some Medicare Advantage plans are covering low back pain acupuncture, Medicare covers it, that kind of thing. But we just don't know the full extent of it. When you look at Eastern medicine, it is a lifestyle medicine. It is the original functional medicine. We're looking for the root of the problem, and we're going to prescribe not just treatment modalities like acupuncture, but supplements. We're going to integrate testing. We're going to look at exercise, because exercise is a great way to be tired so you can fall asleep. Right?
Makes sense.
All of those things are really, really, really important. And acupuncture, we know, also resets the circadian rhythm. So early studies suggest that. You know, we can't say, oh, this is a definitive fact, you know. There's so much misinformation out there in general right now.
But a lot of people have had success with it.
Oh,
in
majorly.
fact, a friend of the show, someone I think you'll recognize, worked with Dr. Captain as well. Let's take a look.
I was going through a really difficult time emotionally, and I didn't understand the strength that our bodies can hold on to pain, especially from an emotional situation that's happening. And I remember the first time I laid on your table, I literally felt like glass was shattered. And my husband comes now, and he was about 1 point away from being on heart medication every single day. And not only has that reversed itself, he's technically in the good zone now. This is a whole body approach for me, and I've seen it from all sides.
And I love that explanation, because when we harbor that anxiety and that stress, of course it's going to impact other parts of our bodies. So it's a great way to let it go. I want to point out 25 years experience. Congratulations on that milestone this year. And that's important to work with someone that has that.
It certainly is.
Okay, well, we love that you share this with us and love to hear the success that people have had. To learn more information about Eastern medicine and work with Dr. Captain, you can go to scansrq.com.